Hello and welcome to the Pocono Mountains here at the virtual Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle for Stampede Racing League, race number 6 of quarter number 2. And we're here to get this race underway, currently underway now as we get a few drivers out on the racetrack. We're going to try and get the pole for tonight's 64 lap race. We'll see who can put it on the pole. At the top of the board in practice, it was Tim Cheney with a 52.696. Couple hundreds faster than Jared Skinner with a 52.710. So we'll see if those two can go 1-2 just like they did in practice. Currently no driver on their lap yet. Cole Snyder, Kenneth Cheney, the furthest ones on the racetrack. Actually no, it is Donnie Kite, Jared Skinner. They had 2 laps for 5 minutes. Now they're gonna hurt. Now, knowing Pocono, very long racetrack, they have to hurry up a little bit. I don't want to wait too long, or you won't be able to get both laps in. But as far as everyone getting out on the racetrack, Jared Skinner hard on the wall off turn 2, as we're on board here with Kenneth Cheney. So Kenneth Cheney gonna try and go to P1, but Jared Skinner's gonna reset because he got big damage off that hard hit to the wall there.
Yeah, he might only be able to get 1 lap, and I think he might have time for 2. But Brock Morris top of the board now. And with Donnie Kite
to the top. Here comes Cheney. Where will he go? Does he go to the top?
Oh, he stays in, I believe, 3rd. Actually, his lap did not count.
Oh, yeah, Cheney so must have hit the wall somewhere.
Yeah, as Giovanni Klein goes top of the board now. Mark Kisselweather.
53.220 for Mark Kisselweather on the top of the board by 1/10 of a second. We'll see if Kenneth Cheney can pick up again. Mark Kisselweather hard on the wall off turn 1. Hard to the inside wall. Oh, whoa, wow. Hard flipping qualifying. At least he's getting that out of the way now. But Giovanni Klein on his second lap. Let's see if he can pick up on his second lap.
Brock Morris goes
back to the top of the board.
Oh, Donnie Kite 0.003 of a second off of Brock Morris for now for pole. Where will Klein be off of turn 3? He goes.
Klein coming to the line. Can he go to the top of the board? It's going to be close. Is it
not quite?
Not going to be enough.
3rd. Actually, Zach Romero takes 3rd away. Dylan Chappell up to 3rd now. Multiple positions changing already.
Joe Skinner's working his way through turn 2 now. Going to finish his lap. Can he put it on the pole? Looks good so far. Look very clean so far. Going to run a little bit higher. Going to get that really good arc through turn 3. Going to put it right on that rumble strip down there, right on that yellow line. Coming to the line, Jared Skinner. Is it going to be enough for pole?
It will not.
No, it won't. P7. Oh, now he falls to P8. 53.442.
As Kenneth
he falls
Cheney,
down to 9th.
Kenneth Cheney not even going to set a lap here, so fastest in practice. Going to start around at least in 13th at the best. The worst, 15th.
One of those drivers that weren't too far off. Kyle Taub on his second lap, the last driver to run. See, can he go to the top of the board on this lap? Trying to get a good entry through turn 3. Kyle Taub coming to the line. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he's going to get really loose off turn 4. That might cost him enough, but Taub to the line. 53.153 goes P3 on the board. Maybe if he didn't, I think if he just didn't get loose off a 3 there, I think he had that.
The top 8 all separated under 1/10 of a second.
What a qualifying there. I think we're going to see a great race tonight with how close this field is. But Kyle Taub almost had the pole. I think if he just didn't get loose off 3, I think he would have had it there. But Brock Morris able to take the pole away for tonight's race.
Yeah, I mean, just how close this qualifying was. This big of a racetrack, 2.5 miles. The top 8 being separated by under 1/10 is pretty crazy. Right now, warm-up underway here at Pocono.
Yeah, so warm-up getting underway. So we're going to take a step away really quick, and we'll be back for the grid in the race here tonight from Pocono. Welcome back to the Pocono Mountains, here to the virtual Pocono Raceway. Tonight we have the Stampede Racing League race number 6 for quarter number 2, and currently getting underway and ready to go racing. Before we get to the green flag, let's take a quick look at our starting lineup for tonight's race. As we just saw Brock Morris take the pole for tonight's race, alongside him will be the tube machine of Donnie Kite. Kyle Topp will start P3, and Dylan Chappell will round out the top 4. Nathan Johnson will be 5th. Zachary Beth, that 6 machine, will start 6th. Starting 7th will be the 5 of Giovanni Klein. Mark Kisswiller will start 8th. Starting 9th will be Hunter Sr. Rounding at the top 10 will be Jared Skinner. Cole Snyder will start 11th. Josh Arnold will start 12th. 13th will be Jacob Wilson. And 14th will be Kenneth Shaney. And our field tonight, our 15-car field tonight, will be the 20 of Zachary Tyler. So we'll see if Kenneth Cheney, if he can work his way through the field, as he was the fastest in practice but did not get a qualifying time in. We saw the field within the first top 8 within 1/10 of a second. We'll see if that stays throughout the night. But the pace car takes that hard left turn onto pit road. Brock Morris, Donnie Kite leads him to green. Green flag in the air. We're underway here for Pocono. They fan out wide, going into turn number 1. Kyle Topp looks to the bottom of the inside of Morris, but then backs out of it. Morris trying to clear Kite off of turn number 1. He's going to make it work. Open the contact behind him. Hard on the wall goes Zachary Meredith. Actually, I believe that's Jared Skinner, actually. Jared Skinner hard on the outside wall. No, it was Meredith. Let's get those mixed up. JuicySpydr cars mixed up. Side-by-side lead, Donnie Kite. Donnie Kite looks for the lead, down into 3, down to the bottom. Trying to stay alongside Brock Morris off of turn number 3, down the front straightaway. Brock Morris going to lead the first lap. Now see how these drivers fare with the tire wear. 19 laps for the stage. So we'll see if they can hold on. How well they can hold on to the tires for 19 laps. So Brock Morris and Donnie Kite pulling a few car lengths from the rest of the field. Side by side back for Kenneth Cheney, as Kenneth Cheney is trying to work his way up the field. See how Jacob Wilson to his inside. They single file it out.
Oh, racing it way off on the outside wall into turn 2. Really tight, side by side ahead of him. Mark Kisswiller with big blocks for Jared Skinner.
Three wide in front of him. As Jared Skinner almost was to the inside of Nathan Johnson there, but now Johnson going to clear up in front of Klein. Now Donnie Kite a little bit farther back from Brock Morris. Now they're going to fishtail down the front straightaway. It's now Donnie Kite almost under attack from Dylan Chappell from behind. As Brock Morris trying to pull away, but back side by side with Jared Skinner and Mark Kisswiller. Jared Skinner gets into the wall a little bit off of turn number 1. So all slide in line now, but Donnie Kite falling back to 5th now. Loses spot to Nathan Johnson. Now he's going to lose a spot to Giovanni Klein, maybe off of turn 2 here. Now he's got some help from Jared Skinner behind him. Got all a little tiny pack here. We're going 3 wide, maybe to 3. Klein almost gets to the middle 3 there with the Splash Jingle graphics machines of Donnie Kite and Nathan Johnson, but it's double followed back out as Klein is trying to get clear of Donnie Kite. Donnie Kite struggling to get the short run speed going. Side by side for second up in front of them, Dylan Chappell, Kyle Topp side by side.
This is allowing Brock Morris to pull away pretty big time, about second lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah, he's really far out in front now. He can kind of just take his time out in front, doesn't have to worry about anything behind. Everyone's still battling behind him. Jared Skinner, Mark Kisswiller, now Donnie Kite, Mark Kisswiller side by side to that top 6 spot. That's just going to reach the inside of Giovanni Klein. Klein taps the wall a little bit off turn 3. Getting the shove from Mark Kissenweather down the straightaway. It's the top 4 really pulling away now from the rest of the field.
Kissenweather on the outside wall off of turn 1. Doesn't lose too much momentum down the back straightaway. We'll see if these second through fourth can catch up to Brock Morris and kind of work together, use the drafting on these long straightaways, try to catch up to our race leader. So far, they gained about a couple tenths the last few laps, got down to about 6 tenths now.
And now trying to get within that draft and work together and
All
pull
the way
that
to the
leader
bottom.
back, and he's going all the way down to the checkered pattern on the apron there. Brock Morris trying to manage his lead out in front, but it's not really working for him now. He's just kind of just have to settle for it. You're going to get caught and going to get drafted back up too.
Nathan Johnson hit the wall, I believe, off of turn 1 there. Lost a little momentum for the top 3 as he's falling back to Giovanni Klein right now.
Giovanni Klein trying to close that gap into Nathan Johnson. We're to start getting into the tire wear section, so it's going to be kind of harder to draft up to somebody. You're going to have to manage your corner speed. You're going to have to actually can't really slide the rears now because you slide the rears a little bit too much, slide the tires a little bit too much. You're going to hurt your run, and the draft's only going to pretty much pull you, maintain your gap. So it's really all it's going to do. Giovanni Klein, he might be on an attack here from Jared Skinner. Jared Skinner all over the bumper, but he's going to stick behind him and just push him down the straightaway. Everyone just trying to take their time, settle in for the rest of this stage. Just save a little bit of their tires. You still got over 10 laps to go for the stage.
Nathan Johnson getting chased down by Giovanni Klein and Jared Skinner also right there in 6th as Brock Morris once again going all the way to the bottom, and that's kind of causing havoc for some of the rest of the field.
I think really honestly what he's doing is kind of helping him because everyone's kind of following him. I think if everyone just kind of got single file up top and just all pushed together, it might work out a little bit, and they are a little bit closer, and honestly end up hurting him a little bit. This would be scrubbing speed doing that. He's still trying to break the draft down the long pond straightaway as Kyle Topp's closing the gap into him, trying to get there. Not too much farther behind. He's got Dylan Chappell. So these two might be up for the race lead here in a few laps. And now right now though, you got Jared Skinner trying to trying to get by Giovanni Klein. They're with contact, throwing up the racetrack in turn 3. They're going to hold it together, but now that the field behind them is going to try and take advantage of it. It's Calamity behind him. Donnie Kite, Josh Arnold, and Hunter Sr. all trying to take advantage down the front straightaway. As Donnie Kite will be able to clear them both. Josh Arnold goes to the inside at 1 and 2. Turn number 1 is Klein way up the racetrack and turn 1 up against the outside wall. He's going to fall all the way back behind Kenneth Cheney.
Now Donnie Kite's up to 6th. Mark Kissenweather in 5th as they have caught up to Brock Morris pretty much on the back bumper. That's Kyle Taub and Dylan Chappell. We've got quite a bit to go in this stage number 1.
Yeah, coming to 10 to go for the stage this time by. Coming out into turn number 3, Brock Morris driving a little bit deeper. Kyle Taub seems to be backing up the corner entry a little bit, trying to avoid the dirty air, and then trying to focus on corner exit. That's what the big, long straightaways here. That's what you really want to focus on, is corner exit. As there you go, Brock Morris going all the way down to the bottom, but Kyle Taub just stays in the middle, doesn't want to scrub any more speed off, and that allows him to close the gap in just a little bit more. He's going to be a little bit closer into 1, but he's got a few more corners where he might be able to get to the back bumper of Brock Morris. We'll see how aggressive he is and try and get by Brock Morris once he gets there.
Yeah, I think he was going to take it a little easy, not push too hard. He has some dirty air ahead. Obviously, he's probably burned up his tires a little bit more then Brock Morris has been clearing this whole race so far, all 10 laps. So I think Todd probably has a little bit worse right front tires than Brock Morris, but we'll see how it plays out here. Coming to lap 11, and 9 laps to go in stage 1.
We'll see how it works out for Brock Morris. He's still holding the race lead, but here comes Kyle Taub. Now they're going to break the draft. Taub's just going to stay a little bit above him. He's going to scrub less speed. He's got to run down the front straightaway into 1. How aggressive he's going to be. Maybe he might look to the bottom. He's going to stick right behind Brock Morris for now.
Brock Morris did a good job defending, not letting Taub get to his inside line. And what will he do here down the long Kong straightaway? Gonna defend low again into turn 2.
But watch out for this though. If Taub backs up a little bit, gets a really good run off the exit of 2,
crossover.
He can send it into 3.
Looks like that's what he's gonna do.
There it goes. He's gonna get the run, gonna get down to the inside, gonna try and cross him over. That's Morris now defenseless going into 3. He's gonna try to hold the outside, but Taub down on the bottom. They get the nose in there. Now watch out for Dylan Chappell behind. Where will he go if he catches up to these guys? Because they're going to side draft each other back. Taub's barely there. Almost slots in line. Almost gets a little bit of contact with Brock Morris. They're going to side draft each other down the front straightaway.
Side by side into turn 1. Who's going to back out first? You're going to say even in the middle. Off the exit, Brock Morris is going to have the advantage down into turn 2. Can he pull away enough? Or will Taub side draft him hard?
Taub almost was there, but he's going to have to sacrifice and slot back in line. He doesn't want Dylan Chappell to get to his outside. He's coming out into turn number 2. We'll see if he does the same thing he did last lap. Back up a little bit, try and get the clean air on the nose from the inside and try and get a good run off the exit. He's going to have a good run down the back straightaway. Coming into turn number 3. Not going to be close enough to mount an attack, though.
Yeah, that time Morris wasn't defending on the inside, so he didn't have to compromise his exit. He was able to get a good, clean exit that time by, but he gets a bad exit off of turn 3. Here comes Taub now to the inside for the race lead.
Yeah, Dylan Chappell, not really a great exit either. He's a little bit farther back, but dead even for the lead. Down the front straightaway. Coming into turn number 1. Taub on the bottom. Morris on the outside lane. Can Taub get the move done into 1 here? He's going to go side by side, driving it a little bit deeper. Morris going to be up in the bumps in the 1, but not really too effective in the next-gen car. Is that if you're Xfinity or a truck, those bumps really affect those trucks or Xfinity cars. It doesn't really affect the next-gen too much, but it works out for Brock Morris as he clears that long pass straightaway, and he's clearing the 3, the 2.
As the top 4 really separated themselves from the rest of the field. We got Mark Kissler and Josh Arnold pretty close together, with Donnie Kite not too far behind. Pretty much even throughout the rest of the field. A few probably separating everyone, but here comes...
Here comes Taub again. Here comes Taub again down the front straightaway. He's going to push Brock Morris for now. Let's see if he ducks out of line at the last second. I'm starting to see that tire wear. Normally with this tire wear here in this next-gen car, it really hurts really bad in turn 3. It kind of really slides in turn 3. Turn 3, really flat corner, kind of like just like Milwaukee Mile is what the corner is based out of, and it gets very loose down and very slidey into turn 3. And it seems Taub just a little bit better on saving those rears and not slipping the rear out. So Taub just gets a really good run off at 3. He didn't take it down to the 1 that time, but it's allowing Chappell and Johnson to catch up. But Johnson's looking the inside on Chappell now.
Yeah, into turn 3. Chappell up top, Johnson on the bottom. Chappell gives him plenty of room. He's going to let Johnson by. Maybe he thinks Johnson has a little bit better tires and work his way up to the race lead, and hopefully they battle up front. Brock Morris once again defending, trying to get away from Taub's draft. The laps are counting down here for stage 1.
Yeah, 5 to go for the stage now. Down on the bottom is Kyle Taub. Not really a great exit that he hoped for. He's starting to lose a little bit of touch with Brock Morris, but side by side for 3rd now. Dylan Chappell on the bottom. Nathan Johnson going down into turn 2. Who will check up in the 2 is going to be Johnson. Will he try to cross over off of turn number 2?
Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. Get back to the bottom. Side by side for 3rd again. But Kyle Taub on the bumper for Brock Morris for the lead. He's gonna stick behind. He's gonna stick behind in turn 3. Gonna try and get the wide arc and get a late apex off the corner. They're gonna run down the front straightaway. He should have a much better run. Brock Morris, I think, struggle with that rear grip in turn 3. It's just sliding him just a little bit too much. It costs him a little bit too much of a run. But Tom's just pushing him away. Maybe just try to work together here and try and get away from Nathan Johnson and Dylan Chappell, as Dylan Chappell peaks us over the bottom in 1, but not gonna make a move. Should have used the outside in 1 though, but it's still not gonna be close enough to bounce an attack off of 1.
And those two battling has kind of let Josh Arnold, Mark Kissweather, and Donnie Kite to catch back up to these drivers for the top 3 spot. So watch out for those 3 drivers here late in stage 1.
They're trying to close that gap into P3, but Kyle Taub and Brock Morris, they have checked out right now. Kyle Taub, he's been working on Brock Morris for the past few laps. When will he make his move? He's got a good run off of 3 again, just less slide on the tires and getting the better run. He peaks to the bottom, so stick back behind him again, but now he goes back to the bottom. Peaks back, ducks back up into the line, so just Kyle Taub should maybe try to show his nose there, try and get Brock Morris to overdrive the corner and try and find an opportunity to force Morris into a mistake. But he's gonna have to make the move eventually. 3 to go in the stage this time by, coming to 2 now. But they are pulled away from the rest of the field, and now Josh Arnold is there on Dylan Chappell.
Yeah, this 2-car pack turns into 5 here for the top 3 spot. Top 2 long gone, about 1.5 seconds ahead of Nathan Johnson. And Josh Arnold maybe sneak himself in the top 3 spot here late in stage 1. Maybe Mark Kissweather as well. Donnie Kite, he started 2nd, struggled early, finds himself in 7th now.
Josh Arnold trying to use the outside there in turn 3. Not enough to work, but 2 to go in the stage. Everyone fighting for their stage points. I think we have 1 driver coming off pit road there, and it is exactly Tyler.
So he just pitted last lap. It's Josh Arnold a bit loose there. As here goes Mark Kissweather to the inside, as Donnie Kite going to push Josh Arnold up top. Kissweather going to fall down to 7th.
Here comes Tom Top for the lead. He ducks the nose into turn 2. Trying to take this race away. They're going to be side by side off of 2. Morris going to have a bigger run, but Top ducks back in line. Now he has to set him up into 3 again. We'll see if he dives it into 1 here. He's been a lot better off of turn 3. Kyle Taub with a great run. I think Brock Morris starting to struggle with those tires and just sliding a little bit too much. It may not look like he's loose, but just the 4-wheel slide up the racetrack, that's what just costs them so much time. It's a big run and it just compounds over each other. But side by side for lead for the final lap of the stage, going into 1.
Side by side in turn 1. We see this one time before. Can Morris get a good run off for turn 1? Looks like he will power ahead for now. Down the long pond, hits the wall.
He got tight though off of turn 1. That's allowed Tom to side draft and back down the long pond straightaway. Down to the 2. What does Morris do? He's going to have to try and pin Tom down on the bottom. Try to pin him down and choke the runoff for Kyle Tom, but they're going to be side by side on the 2. Morris gets a little tight, but they're still side by side down to the 3. Tom looking for the stage win. Morris trying to hold on, but this is where Tom is much better than Morris going down to the 3. Side by side through 3, but can Morris get the run to the drag race to the line?
Off of turn 3, it's going to be close. Side drafting hard as he can, but Morris is going to get first at the line. Behind them, Josh Arnold picks up 3rd place.
Josh Arnold, a great drive to get by those 2 drivers to pick up 3rd, but that will be the stage caution there. As Brock Morris picks up the stage win, Kyle Taub 2nd, Josh Arnold 3rd. Pretty much everyone gets stage points.
As I expect everyone to probably pit under this caution. No reason to stay out or take 2 tires at all.
We could see someone try the 2-tire strategy. They will go green probably with about 42 to go. Expect the fuel window is about 29 and a half, so you can probably go for around 28 to maybe 30, maybe 31. I think maybe a little bit of a stretch to 31, but still kind of wide pit window going into this final stage, but we'll see how that plays out for these drivers. But they're going to try and catch the pace car. But that was a great stage we saw. We'll see if that plays out over the course of the rest of the race. Brock Morris able to pick up the stage win. Zachary Tyler, he came off pit road a lap ago. I wonder if he was trying to maybe undercut and maybe flip the stage, but I think he just misjudged his time and he went a lap down. So he's gonna have to take the wave around. Well, he'll get the free pass anyways. But down pit road now, we'll see what the strategies, how the strategies work out. But everyone come down pit road, top it off on fuel, and at least probably take 4 tires. We'll see if anyone tries to take 2. Don't think we'll see anything that drastic this early. But every driver taking 4 tires in the full tank of fuel. Brock Morris, a little wheel spin off the pit exit. And that's going to lose him a spot to Kyle Taub. And Kyle Taub will cycle to the lead. Brock Morris will still get second as he almost barely got Josh Arnold there, but really big wheel spin off the pit exit out of this box. And that's going to cost Brock Morris the race lead.
He just kept spinning those wheels. And I think he almost lost to Josh Arnold almost there as well. He is ahead in second.
And he'll hold on to second, but while we have the moment, let's bring in our stage winner of Brock Morris. He had to hold off Kyle Taub there for the last few laps, but you're able to get the stage win. How are you going to be able to carry this momentum further into the race?
Yeah, just taking it lap by lap. I mean, this track is pretty racy. So, I mean, hats off to Kyle, though. Like, that was a very fun battle at the end there. And yeah, just trying to recover from a bad launch out of the pit box, but yeah, I think I can do it.
Yeah, we also noticed you're kind of Tom seemed to be a lot better off at the exit of 3. Is that kind of just a tire wear thing? I know just how that kind of tire wear handled those first 19 laps.
Yeah, I mean, Pocono is such a unique track. It's like, you know, tight in 1, loose in 3. Like, just so unique, you know. But yeah, just gonna try and manage it. I felt like I did a pretty good job the first time around, and maybe take care of the rears a little bit more.
All right, well, congrats on your stage win. We'll maybe talk to you later. Good luck in the rest of the race.
All right, thank you guys.
So that was Brock Morris, our stage winner. So we'll see how he can recover from that pit road mistake there, just kind of getting on the gas just a little bit too much, spinning those tires a little bit much. We'll see if Brock Morris can chase back down the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens on this restart, but went green completely to the stage, so we'll see how maybe the aggression ramps up a little bit. Maybe it calms down even since they have a lot longer laps here, and also at least 1 pit stop they'll have to make in the second stage of the race as well. Probably will split it around halfway. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do here. You can split around halfway, go as long as you can, around 30 laps or so. I mean, it's going to be about 40 laps when we go back green, 41 laps when we go back green, so go 20-20, maybe 30-10 type thing, or I mean, pretty much anywhere in between there as well.
Yeah, but also draft can be pretty important, so you might want to pit with somebody, but also if you can get out in front, that could work out for you, but we could also see a two-tire strategy call as well, depending on how they're handling. So we have a lot of wide options for strategy here for this race, so we'll see how this goes. But with the last 41 laps of the race, we'll see who strategy comes out on top. If we make it a caution, that might throw a wrench into plans. But green flag, a back in the air, Kyle Taub on the loud pedal. He gets clear easily on the front straightaway. He's to be cleared out on the one, but Brock Moore is almost under attack from Mark Kisselweather behind him. But so far, the top two clear going to the one.
Yeah, Eric Cheney, who's fastest in practice, finds himself in the top 5 position now. And he's right behind, sideways there, I think Connor Sr. there off of turn 1. Keeps it straight for now, as down the long puncture away they go. Marcus up the third. Connor Cheney, I believe, up the 4th here. If he can get by Josh Allen off of turn 2, and I think he will.
And he will. Kenneth Cheney up to 4th, so he's got the track position he wanted now, so we'll see if he can chase down the race leaders and Kenneth Cheney throw his hat into the ring for this race win. Battle for the lead, a side-by-side right now between Marcus Wither and Brock Morris. That's going to be side-by-side for a second now. It's going to allow Kyle Todd to kind of pull away a little bit. Kyle Todd coming down the racetrack a little bit, try and give draft to Kisselweather and keep them side-by-side of the one so he can try and pull away.
Yeah, we saw Brock Morris pull away to a pretty big margin early on in stage 1, but he was ultimately caught up to by a group of 2 to 3 drivers. So I mean, even if you have a 1.5 to 1 second lead, I think if you get out to about 2 second lead here at Pocono, you can probably maintain that. But if it's anything under 2 seconds, I think a pack of 2 or 3 drivers can definitely catch back up to you. As King Cheney in the outside wall for turn 2. And here comes Josh Allen, Dylan Chappell, and Javon Klein to take advantage of that one.
Yeah, that caused a big checkup, and now Cheney kind of played damage control into 3 here. He's only going to lose the spot to Arnold. He's got the hold off Chappell and Klein. But as you were mentioning, about 2 second gap, I think really you just kind of want to manage that gap if you can. You don't want to burn off your tires. Kind of save your tires the best and hold the race lead, hold that track position. Just start to pull away, kind of break that gap and just slowly pull away. And eventually you'll have that 2 second gap and you'll be able to get away big time. As
a bunch of drivers to the outside wall.
Maintain the drivers behind you, but yeah, as you mentioned there, a lot of drivers tapping the outside wall off of 1 there, so getting a little bit tight. Let's get side by side between Chappell and Arnold into 2. We're gonna say side by side. Klein trying to follow Chappell through on the bottom. Let's almost make a little bit of contact, but they're still side by side going to the 3.
Side by side, Kenneth Cheney, Dylan Chappell. Some contact there in the turn 3 that moves them up the racetrack. This is really slowing down the pack behind as they're allowing these drivers ahead to pull away the top 4 as they're side by side for second as well.
Yeah, Tom goes down to try and keep them side by side again. Then he moves back up for corner entry, try to get that wide arc into turn 1 as Kisselweather falls behind Morris now as he's going to stay way up the racetrack to try and get the run off of turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close enough to get to Morris, but single file through these top 4, they're able to pull away as everyone still battles behind them.
It's a single file as Johnny Kite gets in line there. Nathan Johnson behind him as well as Jared Skinner, Cole Sanders side by side for his top 10 spot. As way up the racetrack goes Nathan Johnson up to turn 2. He gets a pretty decent run. I think he'll be clear in the turn 3. Not quite enough though, as Jared Skinner is just barely on his left rear quarter panel.
Holding outside, barely there. Cole Sanders side by side now with Jared Skinner. The battle for that top 10 spot. This Snyder on the outside lane, able to make it work. He cleared down to the 1. No, he won't. Skinner holds the inside still.
Ooh, some door-to-door contact up the racetrack they go. Here, watch for Hunter Sr. maybe take advantage of this one as well. Azus standing on the outside wall, but doesn't really affect him too much as he'll clear Skinner down in the turn 2.
And Skinner shuts the door there in front of Hunter Sr. So now they single file out through the entire field. to see if any drivers try to work together to catch up to that race leader. But Mark Kissweather back to the bottom on the inside of Brock Morris now. He's been trying to work by Morris for the last few laps, and he finally gets clear there. Big move into 3. We'll see if Morris tries to cross over off of 3, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's going to Josh Arnold right behind him, though.
Yeah, Cal top now is about half single lead over Kissweather. Kissweather and Morris going to try to chase him down, also with Arnold right behind them as well. As Kenneth Cheney, he's won the last 2 races at Sonoma and Michigan. Going to try to go 3 in a row here at Pocono. 3 very different racetracks in that this stretch of schedule.
Yeah, but he's trying to close the gap down. He's got a little bit to go to get to Josh Arnold, and then he's got to push Arnold up to Morris, up to Kissweather, up to Taub. But Taub is maintaining about a second gap over the field right now, just a little bit under. But Kissweather finally got clear for second, so we'll see how well he can catch that race leader of Kyle Taub. But Kyle Taub was easily the strongest after a little bit of run. So we'll see if he can maybe pull away and start to kind of break that gap away from the rest of the field. But everyone's still single file down the long pond straightaway. Top 5 really separated from the rest of the field. Everyone else knows the tail behind them. A little bit of separation between the top 5.
This was Javon Klein kind of in the pack of pretty much 7 or so, 6 or 7. 6 all the way down to 12th place of Hunter Senior. Kind of just in a pack together here. Second back from the top 5 position of Kenneth Cheney as Dylan Chappell low off the exit of turn 3. Not sure if he just did not get a good run, but it's going to allow Donnie Kite and Nathan Johnson to easily clear on the top side. But Cole Center going to give him a shove on the bottom, down into turn 1.
And then he slots right back up in line, but Jared Skinner tries to take that spot away on the bottom, trying to follow Chappell through, but Chappell's going to be able to clear off a 1. He's going to slide off the racetrack, and they're going to single file it back out, but we'll see if Cole Center, if he takes that run and takes that move into 2, ducks the nose down there, maybe trying to fake out Chappell a little bit. Not going to do it, not going to take the run there. Going to try maybe get a better exit off of 2, maybe dive into the 3. Just thinking about it, you kind of fake him out. It's very hard to pass here at Pocono, especially when you got a freight train like this. You try to make a move, you got to make sure you can get it clear quickly or you'll lose a lot of time. But meanwhile, Mark Kissweather is closing the gap into Kyle Taub, and dragging away from Brock Morris. But Josh Arnold able to get by Brock Morris there.
Mark Kissweather to the back bumper of Kyle Taub here, coming to the halfway point in this one. Kissweather loose off of 3. Taub on the inside. Kissweather with a good run off of turn 3. He's got clear down to turn 1, I think. As Kissweather leads his first lap of the night. Side by side into turn 1, down long pond straightaway. As now Kissweather has cleared Taub as Taub slots back in line here. Josh Arnold in 3rd. As that kind of brought in Josh Arnold and Brock Morris a little bit to the top 2 now. As, like I mentioned, we are past the halfway point in this one.
And now we're closing into that point of, are we getting to that fuel window? What do these drivers want to do? Does someone try to pit as soon as they can and really kind of go to the ending of the race on the longest run? But now Kyle Taub to the bottom, side by side with Morton Kissweather down the front straightaway. As this going to allow Josh Arnold to maybe get closer. But Taub's going to clear down to the 1. Kissweather tries to run the higher, runs a little bit higher into 1, right over those bumps, but not really effective, not really affecting the race car. Off of turn number 1, down the back long pond straightaway. As this top 4 now starting to close back together a little bit. Smart Kissweather not really taking a move yet. He's got Josh Arnold right on his bumper. As he's on the bumper, Mark Kissweather is Brock Morris kind of starting to lose touch just a little bit. Get a chance to start to close the gap in a little bit to Brock Morris. These top 3 all over each other as here comes Kissweather, looks to the outside a little bit as he try to cross under down the front straightaway. Stick in line, gonna try and push him away as maybe try and get these top 3 to pull away a little bit from the rest of the field. For that time by Mark 30, Mark Kissweather maybe a little bit into the wall there. Just barely missed it, but that's going to allow Josh Arnold to clear for second. He's going to hop back up in line, but as I was mentioning, that time by Mark 30 laps to go, so the fuel window is open. If any driver wants to maybe try and come down to pit early, but we'll probably won't see anyone pit until at least another 10 more laps. They can go another 20-ish or so laps on this fuel tank, so we'll see how long someone will stretch it. You can see someone like Zachary Tyler, Jacob Wilson, Hunter Senior. They can try and stretch it as long as they can. Stay as long as they can, but we try and get some extra track position. But they're so far back, you don't really go lap anyone. So I mean, you gotta hope you have enough of a tire advantage, even if everyone stays out when you pit under caution. They gotta hope it stays for you a little bit longer and have everyone pit for and be out there for at least 5, maybe 8 laps before tires really make a difference. But we could see someone try to gamble it later. But we'll see. We've still got a while to go left in this race. As Josh Arnold trying to use that outside lane to his advantage, trying to get around Kyle Taub. Not able to do it, but single file for the top 5. Still is Kenneth Cheney barely tagging along with Brock Morris as well, but Josh Arnold, Kyle Taub pretty much nose to tail. Marcus Weather just a couple car lengths back, and then you got 2 trying to pretty much bridge the gap to the top 5 of Giovanni Klein and Donnie Kite, and this the rest of the field 8th on the bay back to 12th. Off of turn number 2 down the straight away into 3, as now here comes Josh Arnold, goes to the bottom. He's gonna try and pull the slider in 3. He's gonna be able to do it, but where will Kyle Taub go? He's gonna run off of turn number 3 down the front straightaway. He's gonna have to get a push from Mark Kissweather down the straightaway. He's got a big run to the black bumper of Josh Arnold. He's gonna stick behind him, not gonna make the move yet. Top 5 was kind of separated by a few tenths of a second. I said the tire wear is starting to show now, but the tire wear just kind of allowing the guys with the worst tire wear to just kind of stay tagged along there. Gonna hope, wait for a mistake for the cars in front of you. Then you start to battle a little bit, so you kind of gain a little bit back. As you kind of see with Brock Morris and Kenneth Cheney, they're kind of falling off a little bit. But they're just kind of waiting for a mistake to happen in front of them, or they start the battle. They get a big run to maybe try and make the move, but Mark Kissweather goes around the outside of Kyle Taub in 3 and 4, in turn 3, and he actually going to get a huge run down the front straightaway. But Kyle Taub really lost a lot of time there off of turn 3. And Mark Kissweather, massive run, doesn't take the move into 1, but he goes back to the outside, trying to get the run off of turn number 1. Oh, but he gets a little bit loose. But still not gonna slow him down. Down the long pond straightaway, coming down to turn 2. This Kissweather diver to the bottom. Not gonna do it yet. Just have an opportunity in the 2, but this is gonna allow Kyle Taub to close the gap back in. It's just kind of a rubber band. They kind of stretch out and come back. come back together. Just trying to bridge the gaps between everybody. Side by side with Cheney and Taub. Well, Morris and Taub, sorry. Well, no, this is Cheney, as Morris did fall back to 5th, but we do have a couple pit stops in the back. A few drivers pitting. We have a few drivers start to come down pit road. Jacob Wilson going down pit road. So early pit stop there for Jacob Wilson. We'll see if that works out for him. He was pretty far back, so we'll see if he gets a big undercut. But side by side for the lead between Josh Arnold and Mark Kisseweather. As Kisseweather trying to get to the lead now. Maybe try to pull away from the rest of the field. It'd be side by side. This is going to allow Tom to close a big time off of 2 down the back straightaway. Can Tom close the gap? Can he make a move down to the 3? Not going to do it yet. Not close enough yet. But he's going to try and get that clean air way up all against the outside wall, pretty much all the way up in those top 2 lanes. But now he's got a big run. He's going to push Josh Arnold clear of Mark Kisseweather. Now he's going to have his own move down into 1 if he wants to take him. But he's going to push Arnold. Trying to stay in line.
Here was Cheney.
But now Cheney takes the move.
Cheney to the bottom lane. But Kisseweather he'll be on the outside, get a good run down long pong straight away. He's gonna stay in line behind Top. Got to push him up to Josh Arnold though. Big run. He's not gonna take it though in the turn 2.
Here comes Cheney. He took that opportunity down to the 2. He's gonna make it work, and he's gonna clear. He caught them off guard there in the 2, and he got by Mark Kisseweather. But Kisseweather throwing off the 2. He goes back to the outside in the 3. They'll be side by side, but Cheney's starting to come alive here now as he's down to the bottom, all the way down to the yellow line. So Cheney fastest in practice tonight. Did he get a good qualifying heel for? He's your biggest mover of the race tonight. He's moving all the way up to 3rd, trying to get there. Not going to be able to do it yet.
So here comes Kisseweather to the inside. Doesn't really have much draft as Arnold's going to stay clear in the turn 1. The Top up top. Ooh, Kisseweather very
really
loose.
Off of 1 though. Kisseweather was very loose down there. It cost him a lot of time. Cost him a big run. Now he's stuck side by side with Cheney as they kind of side trapped each other a little bit. It's a big side draft. And these next gens, it kind of slows them down a little bit from Kyle Taub and Josh Arnold. But Josh Arnold gets really loose off of turn 2. That's going to allow Taub to the outside. Side by side to the 3. Taub barely not there.
Taub might look for the over-under here. As he's actually going to stay top. Try to get that exit off the momentum.
Yeah, but the timer really starting to show these drivers starting to slip and slide around as we're coming to the halfway point of the run. They can go about maybe 10, 11 more laps. As they're actually door pegging all the way back there, but they're side by side still up for the race lead.
So here comes Cheney.
Oh, we have a caution on the racetrack, and I believe that might be Jared Skinner, and it is. They were door banging down the entire front straightaway, and that's going to ruin that strategy. I mean, that all started off at turn number 3. They were door banging down the entire straightaway between Jared Skinner and Giovanni Klein. Is there 3 wide with Nathan Johnson?
So Klein hits him right there, hits him again right there, hits him again right there. So I'm not sure if it just seems like, yeah.
Nathan Johnson, yeah.
I mean,
they
I'm
kind
not
of
really
just
sure.
kept door banging, and they just kind of all wrecked each other. And Nathan Johnson just an innocent bystander there.
I mean, Klein, I think side drop there didn't mean to. They did it again, So I'm not sure if Klein was not happy with Skinner.
No, Skinner just kind of kept doing into him after.
I mean,
Klein got into him a couple times, so
I'm not really sure if Klein initially was angry at him, then obviously Skinner finished it off and finished himself. And Nathan Johnson, Giovanni Klein in the turn 1 as well.
Yeah, but weird incident there. They both door banged down the straightaway. But that pretty much will end the strategy. But we could see maybe Jacob Wilson. He just came down pit road a couple laps ago. Same with Cole Steiner, Dylan Chappell. We could see those drivers maybe try and stay out here. You know, they only pitted a couple laps ago. under the green flag. Dylan Chapel put on lap 39, so you could see them try to stay out here. They'll be on a little bit older tires, but I don't think it'd affect them too much, hopefully, for them.
Tire wear hasn't really been, I don't think, a huge factor, especially like 3-4 lap old tires. I think you can definitely stay out here and be competitive.
I think they'll probably stay out here, and that's going to shake up this field just a little bit. But everyone else is going to come down pit road, top it off on fuel. They can make it to the end now. But Dylan Chapel will stay out, Cole Steiner will stay out, and Jacob Wilson will stay out. So that's going to shake up the field. It's going to put all three of those out in front. We'll see who can be the fastest off of pit road. Down the pit road now, we'll see who can get out first. Brock Warren's had a lot of wheel spin off of pit road last time. We'll see if he can minimize that, maybe gain a few extra spots. But Kenneth Cheney out of his stall as two drivers taking 2 tires there. Maybe. Kissweather way out in front, so I think Kissweather took 2 tires there. That could work out.
Yes,
we'll see how that works out for him.
The 3 drivers staying out: Dylan Chapel, Cole Steiner, Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, so we'll see how these drivers with the older tires and the 2 tires and different tire strategies fare out when we come back here from Pocono. We'll be back for the restart.
At NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Welcome back here to Pocono Raceway here for the Stampede Racing League. As we just saw a caution come out with just about 20 to go and split up the strategies. We had Dylan Chapel, Cole Steiner, Jacob Wilson. They pitted just a few laps ago and they stayed out under this caution. So we'll see if they can hold out in front. But they're gonna have a hard charging Mark Kissweather and drivers on new tires behind him. A green flag in the air, side by side for the lead. Dead heat down the front straightaway, but 18 to go, just 1 lap shorter than the stage length. So we'll see if these tires hold on for these race leaders. Can they hold the track position? But down to the turn number 1, everyone fans out into 1 as Dylan Chapel clear lead for now. Kenneth Cheney tries to hold the bottom. He's going to tighten up the racetrack. Almost into Mark Kissweather. He's sliding behind as they're single file for the top 5.
I gotta watch over those cold tires on his initial restart, but through turn 1 they go. And with 18 laps to go, it's pretty much go time. There's some contact there in the back. Hunter Senior, Kyle Taub. And contact around 8th place, 7th place right there, mid-pack. As this is about how long stage 1 was. Stage 1 was 19 laps, so 18 laps pretty much similar length there. So the gyros already pretty much ran 19 lap run on the first at the beginning of this race as well. So it's kind of a familiar territory for most of these drivers, pretty much all of them.
We'll see how this works out. Brockmorn's trying to work his way up, goes down to the bottom. He's on 4 tires. Mark Kissweather, he's on new tires. He's on 2 new tires. But Cole Steiner and Dylan Chapel, they're holding it out front so far. But here comes Mark Kissweather on the bottom. Side by side for second down the long pond straightaway. Is this going to allow maybe an opportunity to get Dylan Chapel into 2?
Some contact.
There's a little bit of contact. A little bit of dooring down into 2, but Snyder trying to pin him down off of turn number 2, trying to choke off the run for Mark Kissweather, and it's going to work, and that's going to allow Chain to the outside. So they're side by side for third now between the drivers on new tires. It's going to work out. This is playing good for Cole Snyder right now, kind of playing a blocker for his teammate out in front of the Dylan Chapel. As Chapel pulls away by a couple car lengths, but Kissweather down on the bottom, still side by side with Cheney for third.
So here comes Shane out to the inside, goes side drafts Cole Snyder down to turn 1. Remember, Snyder has those older tires, about 5 lap old tires in Kenneth Cheney. As he's going to clear into turn 1, he's going to slot himself up to second, right behind Dylan Chapel.
And a good run. Oh, maybe he gets a little bit of wall there. Almost got to the back bumper of Dylan Chapel there. But down to the long pond straightaway now. Now Cheney has a little bit of a buffer between him and the other drivers on new tires. Does he have an opportunity? He's looking for 3 in a row. Can he do it? Is he sitting in second, sitting in a good spot? Still a long way to go. They're coming to 15 to go this time by.
Right behind him is Cole Snyder, Mark Kissweather. Kissweather and only right side tires though. So pretty much the top 4. Only Kenneth Cheney has 4 fresh tires. They're sitting in a really good spot here.
Yeah, now they're nose to tail, pretty much all bumper. Bumping each other down the front straightaway. Here comes Cheney, looks to the bottom, looks for the race lead on Dylan Chapel. Giving the Cheney down to the bottom. Can he clear off a turn 1? Yes, he will. Chapel's going to try and stick the nose out to the right rear, but it's not going to be enough. And now Kissweather's going to have to find his way by Chapel if he wants a shot at Cheney. But Cheney cleared down into 2. As Chapel not enough of a run to make a move into 2, and he's going to sacrifice to the dirty air.
Ooh, he hit Cheney at the outside wall.
Tail.
Off of turn 2, and here comes Chapel now as Cheney trying to defend into turn 3, but he puts Chapel, I think, into the outside wall, maybe on entry there.
A little bit of bump almost gone wrong there, but now Kissweather tries to hold the outside. He's got Cole Snyder kind of side jumping him back just a tiny bit off exit. That's going to slow him down just enough, but here comes Chapel back to the bottom, side by side for lead as they enter turn number 1.
As side by side, Chapel on the bottom. Can he try slider in the turn 1? Yes, he will. He's really sends it deep in the turn 1. He sticks it for now.
Kissweather gets the bumper of Cheney, and they're going to make contact on the racetrack. Goes Cheney, and that's going to allow Snyder into the bottom as Kissweather moved him out of the way.
And our closer, Brock Morris in 5th place, not too far back, also has 4 fresh tires as well, so he's definitely in this race as well as contact
between Snyder and Kissweather. They're going to both go up the racetrack as Kissweather going to make contact. He's going to go hard to the outside wall. He's going to back down the racetrack in front of the field. He avoids everybody, but they stay green. But heavy damage to Mark Kissweather, and that's going to no doubt probably take him out of the race tonight.
And also our current points here as well heading into tonight's race. He had an 18-point lead, I believe, over Kenneth Cheney. A 17-point lead over Kenneth Cheney going into tonight.
And now that gives Dylan Chapel even more of a buffer. He's got the tire disadvantage, but now he's got a big gap to Kenneth Cheney, the first driver on tires, and he's got Cole Snyder behind him. So Cheney has to get by another car before he even has a chance to get to Chapel. So Chapel just tries to hold on and manage this gap for another 12 laps.
In the meantime, let's take a quick look at what happened exactly with Mark Kissweather and Cole Snyder there. So Snyder got into entering turn 2 there, and Kissler just couldn't save it in time and hit the outside wall pretty hard. Hit Cheney as well, so Cheney may have some right front aero damage as well on that 75 machine.
Shane doesn't look too bad as trying to make a move on slider down out of the front straightaway. But now here comes Donnie Kite pushing Brock Morris. Donnie Kite looking for a chance at this as he's trying to get down, get close to the race leader. But all these drivers, if they want a chance at the win, they got to work together if they want to catch Chapel.
Yeah, they still got plenty of time. 12 laps to go here at Big Track like Pocono. It's around 10 minutes or so. They've still got plenty of time, and Chapel and Center both have older tires, so Brock Morris, Donnie Kite, Kyle Taub, all those guys can definitely catch up to these guys in the next few laps or so. Right now, Cole Center kind of pulling away from Ken Cheney.
Yeah, but Cole Snyder as well, teammates with Dylan Chapel, so you know he's probably going to try and play roadblocker as best as he can and try and hold off the field. But Dylan Chapel, honestly working out for him, the old tires, not really losing him time. He lost more time to Cole Snyder than he did to Kenneth Cheney. He actually gained on Kenneth Cheney. As Kenneth Cheney, Brock Morris, and Donnie Kite, they're going to be all battling for themselves on the freshest tires. But Dylan Chapel holding on out in front right now. This time by will be coming to 10 laps to go. One single file for now, but now Donnie Kite looks to the outside on Brock Morris. As Donnie Kite seems to have a little bit better tires. Kind of sitting just around to the back. Now trying to make his moves up through the field. He's to the outside of Brock Morris, side by side for that 4th place spot. Donnie Kite, he's got the help of the draft in front of him, but now Cole Snyder closing the gap down to Dylan Chapel. He's out of 2/10 now, 2 car lengths. Kite as clear as Morris. Morris now under attack from Kyle Taub.
Around the outside goes
starting to
Taub.
help them a little bit.
As this pack just grows up to 7 now, is Josh Arnold in the background there. He's also on newer tires as well. Right now, Dylan Chapel leads 10 laps, 9.5 laps to go now. As his pack of 7 right now, and Hunter Sr. about 2 seconds back. And Jacob Wilson with older tires about 2.5 seconds back. So for those two to catch up, it's going to be a little difficult here, but Chapel here come to 9 laps to go. It's really anyone's race in this top 7.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit better chances for maybe Kenneth Cheney or Donnie Kite. They get the freshest tires sitting 3rd or 4th in line. Josh Arnold's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to have a chance at this. But here comes Kenneth Cheney. He's got the nose to the bottom of Cole Snyder. I think they might 3 wide off of 1 here, but now they're going to be side by side for a second as Chapel just gets enough of a run. But now he's got Cole Snyder behind, but Donnie Kite trying to get in line as well. He's trying to push in front of Kenneth Cheney. It's going to work. Donnie Kite moves up to 3rd, the first driver on 4 tires now.
There's a little sideways there for Kenneth Cheney there in turn 2. Kite in the outside
Kite
wall, and with
Cole
Snyder.
Snyder loose off of 2.
As they all keep it
Cheney back
straight.
to the bottom. As they were starting to catch Dylan Chapel, now they kind of all making mistakes, and that slows them down a little bit. But now Cheney trying to shut the door on Donnie Kite. He doesn't have the gap there. He's going to start to fall back a little bit as Kyle Taub now going to push Donnie Kite with Cole Snyder, and they're going to push clear down the first straightaway. But Kite's clear. A little bit of contact with Taub is Cheney going to 1. As Cheney going to way up the racetrack, going to make a little bit more contact, but Kite trying to make the move on Cole Snyder for 2nd. He's going to be able to do it. Does he have the door to clear? No, he does not. He's going to stay side by side with Snyder taking there 2. A lot of action here late as you have the older tires. So Dylan Chapel and Cole Snyder trying to play roadblock, trying to block the rest of the field off for coming to 7 to go. But we have a caution out of the racetrack. That's Kenneth Cheney. Goes around into turn 3 as he doesn't look like he has damage, but he's trying to go 3 in a row. And now that just made it a much more difficult.
As Kyle Taub turned around there as well. I believe it's Josh Arnold has reset as well. So I think it was going into turn 3. So this is off of turn 2. Little contact between Taub and Cheney off of turn 2. Is there Tom just trying to side jobs on the entry, and oh, Josh Arnold pretty much a victim right there. As I think, like you mentioned, Chain didn't get any damage from that one, I don't believe.
They just kind of went for the bottom, so he's got a lot of tire now, but someone could try to stay out here, maybe try and block off the last 5 laps. Still got a little bit to go, but I think most drivers are probably going to come down for tires here, but we could see a 2-tire versus 4-tire strategy call.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think the call's going to be 2.
I think definitely.
The call's going to be 2 tires here.
I think half the field probably going to take 2 tires, the other half going to take 4. Just knowing how little wear there's been in this next-gen car. And I think 2 tires will make it a little bit freer, allow you to turn a little bit better as well.
Yeah, bro, we're going to restart with 4 to go, so don't be surprised if you see someone in the back try to stay out. It's not a whole too lot on the tires, as long as you kind of save them pretty well. We could see someone try to stay out. It's try to hold off for 4 laps, maybe try and pick off a few cautions, but we'll have to see. Here they come. This is the money stop. This is the stop that you need to be perfect on. You can't wheel spin out of the box, but Dylan Chapel gonna stay out. Cole Steiner gonna stay out. Everyone else dives him in. So now gonna have even more of a tire disadvantage over the rest of the field. But Dylan Chapel, Cole Steiner stay out of the racetrack as everyone else comes down pit road. As we'll see, everyone going to go into their stalls. Does anyone take 2 tires? The race off pit road. This is the stop that matters. As now you're going to line up 3rd. But Dylan Chapel and Cole Steiner, we'll see what they can do when they hold off for the lead. But mostly, everyone taking 4 tires. So everyone takes 4 tires there. Donnie Kite gets out first. Brock Moore second. Kenneth Cheney, that's Hunter Seniors, gets out pretty well. A few other drivers, I think everyone else is kind of sitting in their box, fixing a little bit of damage they may have got there. But now they're going to restart with 4 laps to go. We'll see the final 4 laps when we come back here for Pocono. here to Pocono Raceway. We're coming to maybe the final restart. A 4-lap shootout. Cole Snyder, Dylan Chappell on the front row on the older tires. Everyone else behind him on 4 fresh tires. The old tires versus the old tires. Who will prevail? 4 to go. Green flag is back in the air. And Snyder and Chappell with a great restart. Chappell is clear of his teammate Cole Snyder down to the 1. But Snyder does not take the move up yet. Now he does. Single filing back out. As now everyone else is going to try and fiercely fight behind him. As Kenneth Cheney, he just got spun in that last track. He's moving all the way up to 4th already, trying to get under Donnie Kite. But Donnie Kite has a huge run on Brock Morris down the Long Pond straightaway. But are they going to try and work together to push up to the race leaders on the older tires? Down into turn number 2, Chappell and Snyder still 1-2. Morris and Kite pushing up down each other down the back straightaway, trying to come into turn 3, trying to get to the outside of Cole Snyder. You know, 2 drivers to get by on older tires. That might hurt them a little bit, but Kenneth Cheney, he's trying to go 3 in a row. He's trying to get up to the front. He's on the bottom. He's going to side draft Donnie Kite back a little bit. That's going to hurt them both, hurt them all. But here comes Brock Morris. Looks to the bottom, fakes it back up the high side, fakes back to the bottom. This crossover is down the front straightaway. He's going to go to the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead in the 1.
And so here comes Kenneth Cheney, going to door him up the racetrack in the round. Cole Snyder and Brock Morris go. Has no caution yet, but it should be
hard to the
here
inside
soon.
wall. That's going to take out Hunter Sr. and Brock Morris. And that's going to be the caution with 3 laps to go. There's a big wreck off of turn number 1 as Kenneth Cheney sits it in there big time. And I think that's just made contact with all of them.
Yeah, this is going down
And that
into
was-
turn 1 right here. I mean, with 3 laps to go, Kenneth Cheney just pretty much didn't lift it right there.
It's the big fake from Brock Morris. Dylan Chappell checked up a little bit. Brock Morris checked up, and Cheney just came out of nowhere, just doored Brock Morris into Cole Snyder. And Brock Morris, out of control, comes down into Hunter Sr. And Hunter Sr. nowhere to go, just gets pinned in that inside wall there, and wrecks out multiple cars there. But Kenneth Cheney up to 2nd, trying to go 3 in a row. And now in a prime spot, probably won't have some fans after that one. Typically Brock Morris and Cole Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gutsy move. They're already 3 wide going into turn 1, and maybe just a little bit too tight. He saw the opportunity there, but yeah.
But Donnie Kite able to avoid that. Oh, he gets the bumps and tags the wall a little bit, but able to mostly hold on to that. He still will hold on to 4th, but actually Cole Snyder gets all his spots back. He will still line up 3rd. And Donnie Kite will line up 4th, so we're going to have the old tires on one lane and the new tires on the other. Kyle Taub also in a great mix as well. He was really good at the end of stage 1. Couldn't get the stage win, but he's going to have an opportunity to steal that away. The Kyle Top, he's been fast all night long, so we'll see if he can do something on the green white checkered. They have 3 attempts to make it at least 1 lap. Nathan Johnson gets another lap back there, but still 2 to green. It'll be Dylan Chappell, Kenneth Cheney, as Cole Snyder did come down pit road, so it'll be Kyle Taub, Donnie Kite, and Giovanni Klein. Cole Snyder will line up in 6th. Now we work their way down the pace lap so we'll see if we can get it done on this first attempt, but probably going to see a little bit more door bang and a little bit more contact before this race ends, but this time by we will be to the end of regulation. We'll see if Dylan Chappell on the old tires Can he hold on? Another note, if we do get a lot of yellows here, Dylan Chapel went last pit on lap 23. Actually, sorry, lap 39. So Dylan Chapel, depending on how much he's saving into this caution, he could be a little close on fuel. I think you probably have to go to all three checkers in order for him to run out, but we'll see. I think Dylan Chapel will be okay.
I think fuel-wise, everyone should be okay. I mean, it'd be pretty. I would be really surprised if no one can make it on fuel. They pitted 25 laps ago, and they've had a few laps, a couple of those 25 laps under caution. So I'd be pretty surprised if they do have to pit for fuel. But I mean, like you said, if they have to use all the green right checker attempts, it could be a possibility, but probably unlikely though. Because we only have, I think, 8 cars. I guess Brock Morris is actually on the. He's going to be a lap down though, I believe. As the field just passed him. Unfortunate for Brock Morris, time to give him a chance. So.
That's just unfortunate there, and he was dominant all night long. Won the stage earlier tonight.
Yeah, I got the pole as well. So it's gonna be 8 cars only lap here. Only restart here with 2 to go.
Yeah, we did get a caution. Brock Morris will get his lap back, but he also did have a lot of damage there from that last incident, so it probably wouldn't have been made up much of a difference anyways. But he doesn't look terrible. It's really just that right front of the race car. I don't know how bad the wheel damage was, but Brock Morris, fortunate, he was running really fast tonight. Now he's going to be a lap down, so we'll see. Can Kenneth Shaney, can he go 3 in a row and pick up the win tonight? But he's got Dylan Chapel to get by. He's going to have Kyle Taub, Donnie Kite to hold off. He's going to have Cole Snyder as well. Cole Snyder just picked up fresh tires, running in 6th, I believe. Running in 6th, though. We'll see if Cole Snyder, what will he do on this restart if he has an opportunity to get back to Kenneth Shaney. I don't think he's very happy with that last what happened with that last caution.
Yeah, not at all, but I guess we're going to settle it on the racetrack under green, hopefully. About to go green here with 2 laps to go, 5 miles to decide it. As Chapel chooses the outside line.
We'll see what happens. Chapel on the outside. He's got Donnie Kite behind him with the green flag back in the air. Chapel with a great launch. That's going to allow Kite and Cheney to stay side by side into turn number 1. Can Kite maybe clear before he gets down there? I think he will, and he will. Cheney's going to stay. Actually, no, Cheney's going to hold the inside just barely. How aggressive he's going to be to try and get by Kite into 1 here.
As we're side by side into turn 1, Kite get out of the vans on the outside, down long. Contact behind. Top in the inside wall.
Giovanni Klein gets on the bumps and spins
no caution.
around.
Oh, there's the caution.
So that's our second attempt. So that's going to bring out our second attempt here.
As they think just toured up the racetrack there off of turn 1.
Just the bumps down. They had it saved, but then the bumps down on the bottom of the racetrack that spun Giovanni Klein around. That brings out the caution once again.
As I don't think Klein.
Dylan Chapel.
Yeah, Dylan Chapel still leads, but I don't think Klein has too bad damage. Actually, he has no rear end, actually, but he didn't really hit the wall. It seemed that hard, but I think if he can get that repair, you can definitely maybe still finish in the top 5 spot.
Really, Dylan Chapel, every lap, every heat cycle get pushed on those tires helps him out. And now he's looking at a good chance. I mean, he could also win this under caution. Yeah, but on their second attempt at this time by, so we'll see if they can hold on. But Donnie Kennedy was able to get second. Kenneth Cheney has a little bit of right front damage from that contact from the other caution.
Ooh, Giovanni Klein.
Oh, a little bit of contact after.
I didn't really think Taub caused an incident, though. It was more Klein's fault. I mean, Klein's on the inside. I don't really know what he expects the driver on the outside to do when he's in the outside wall. But, you know, what do I know?
The contact there, but a little bit of frustration is shown. starting to see a little bit of tempers flare at the very end of this one. We still got 2 more attempts at a green white checker.
I'm just very confused on that one because I mean, Hobbs on the outside, in the outside wall. I mean, I don't know exactly what Klein expected him to do there. I mean, unless I saw that completely wrong, but I mean, car on the outside can't go any higher.
We'll see if Tom maybe shows a little bit of displeasure back after that one, but actually, well, Giovanni Klein just left the session, so we'll see how that one goes. But Cole Steiner, he'll come down pit road again, as he's going to be our only taker down pit road, but we will take 2 to green this time by. And I'll hopefully get it done this time. But Brock Morris, he will get back on lead lap now. So now he's going to be, so Brock Morris going to have another chance to get back in this. Especially gets one more caution as a few other drivers right up in front of him. But Dylan Chappell holding stronger more and more out in front. This is working out for that 17 machine. How aggressive will Donnie Kite be? How aggressive will Kenneth Cheney be? If Dylan Chappell, if he can get a really good restart, this should be a great opportunity. Kyle Tobbs there as well. He's been fast all night long, but Dylan Chappell trying to play this strategy perfectly. Now, he's had a lot of cautions to hold on and save a little bit of fuel, but he could be a little tight here. Maybe if we go to 1 more. Haven't really stayed green a lot on these restarts, though, to really burn enough fuel, though, for it to matter. So I think he'll be okay, but it wouldn't be surprised if maybe Chappell might run out of fuel here at the next, if we go 1 more.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's in the 30 laps on this tank. I don't know exactly how many caution laps we've had, but I think at least 12 probably in those 30 laps. So, I mean, I think that's enough for him to save enough fuel completely to make it to the end, even if we do get another green light checkered here. We'd probably have to go all the way to turn 3, then get the caution, go all the way to turn 3 for this green light checkered to maybe have it happen possibly.
Yeah, he last pitted on lap 39, so that is on under green. That's about 30 laps, but we have extended a lot and we've had a good bit of caution, so gonna be tight for Chappell. We'll see if he can hold on, but I think more it's just those tire disadvantage. He's on a big tire. He hasn't pitted since lap 39, and a lot of these drivers pitted just a couple of cautions ago when we went into overtime, so he's just on a big tire disadvantage, but it's just helping him more and more now. But now he's going to choose the outside again, so he loved the launch from the outside lane, so we'll see if he can get a good launch again. But also keep in mind, I mean, I think anyone has a chance at this point. We're down to 7, and the way they keep going, see if they can hold on. Maybe get it back this time by, get it back around to the white flag.
Once again, Chappell chooses the outside lane, worked pretty well for him on that last restart. Kite now on in seconds, so we'll see what he can do on the front row. As he was able to get around Cheney there, and now obviously Todd spun during the caution lap, so his tires might be a little bit more worn than he probably wanted them to be. But I think at this point, it's really not that big of a difference. But you never know what can happen. Here's Brock Morris in 7th place. Car looking pretty okay. I think he still has some right side damage there in that 05 machine, but see that left side's pretty wrinkled up as well. But we'll see what he can do here in the 05.
We'll see. They got 2 more attempts here to make it to the checkered. They get a caution this time. We'll have 1 more attempt, and if they get a caution before they get back to the white, it will be over under yellow. But we'll see. Can Chappell, can he hold on? He's on the tire disadvantage. Got the launch last time. We'll see if he can launch again this time. Into the guy called Research Zone. Green flag back in the air. Dylan Chappell with a great launch. And they're going to be side by side again for second behind him. That's exactly what he wants to see. Down to the 1, Kite, Tom, side by side. Janie's right there as well, but Kite's going to be able to clear Tom. Now can he push Donnie Kite up to the race leader, Dylan Chapel? But Janie with a good run down to the bottom. That might allow him to stay side by side down the Long Pond straightaway, and he will, and that's going to slow them up any more. And Dylan Chapel able to looking in his mirror and seeing it pulling away and gets smaller and smaller in the mirror as they stay side by side for a second. This is not what they want to be doing.
Not at all, as they're still side by side entering turn 3, as they're almost 3 abreast there.
3 wide now. 3 wide now as Tom's going to be all the way down to the bottom. Zachary Tyler trying to sneak his way through Jacob Wilson, but off of turn number 3. They're going to make it back to the white flag. Now Kite and Cheney, can they push each other well down the front straightaway? They have a big gap to get to Dylan Chapel. They cannot get side by side at all. If they get any side by side, any side draft, their chances are over.
Because Chapel's loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror right now. And they close the gap there in turn 1. They have way fresher tires as well, as now the gap down to 2/10.
And now the gap down the Long Pond straightaway. Donnie Kite going to push Kenneth Cheney down into turn number 2. This run for 2 is going to mean everything. Does he have a shot in the 3? Cheney with the run down to the bottom off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. He's going to get the wall. That's going to cost him some time. Does he dive it in 3 for one last chance? Don't think he's got a chance. Donnie Kite's going to try and take second away. But Dylan Chapel, he pitted early than everyone. He stayed out after he got that caution, and he holds all the tire disadvantage. Dylan Chapel, he's going to win at Pocono. They drag race for 3rd behind him. Kyle Tom barely steals 3rd away from Donnie Kite. Kenneth Cheney will round out 2nd. He'll come up 1 spot short for the app trick. But Kenneth Cheney, solid run tonight, even after the 2 in a row he just had.
A very good point set for him. Remember, Mark Kisswether wrecked out earlier in this one. He's going to end up in 13th, and Kenneth Cheney up in 2nd. So for the championship, with quarter at number 2, that is pretty important as Kenneth Cheney slowly gains those points on Mark Kisswether. Not sure if he'll be the points leader after tonight, but it will be good.
And Dylan Chapel able to hold on to those old tires and just had everyone battle behind him. That's what helped him win this race, and he was able to hold off on the old tires. It worked out perfectly for Dylan Chapel. So he's going to be able to he's going to celebrate it here from Pocono. But also that means he'll be the defending race winner for the next 3 weeks. As our next race here for Stampede Racing is June 8th, so a couple off weeks. Oh, and he gets hit under, and he's slipping. And I think, well, that's a unique celebration. For Dylan Chapel is I think his teammate got into him. And he's now beached against the wall. Dylan Chapel gonna be celebrating on his side. I don't even think he has an engine anymore. Oh, he does. He does have an engine. I'm shocked. He's gonna have to get his teammate to flip him over. And they are not doing and Cole Center are not doing very well at doing that right now. He's just kind of pushing him against the wall. We're trying to get a celebration, but Dylan Chapel kind of flipped upside down. But why Cole Snyder and Dylan Chapel sort that out? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our top 3 interviews.
NJBDesigns.com, we specialize in transforming your vehicle into a work of art by revolutionizing the way you see your car with the hottest trends in sim racing. Choose from a wide range of colors, textures, finishes to promote your business and sponsors in style. Whether you're looking to add a sleek matte finish, a flashy chrome accent, or a custom design that turns heads, our designers have you covered. If you want to stand out in the crowd, visit njbdesigns.com today and let our team of professionals transform your vision into reality.
Welcome back here to Pocono. As we just saw Dylan Chappell pick up the race. So before we get to our top 3 interviews, let's take a quick look at our results for tonight's race. As we just saw Dylan Chappell pick up the win on the old tires. Kenneth Cheney picks up second. Kyle Taub rounds up the top 3. We'll talk to those 3 in just a moment. Donnie Kite rounds up P4 in that drag race to the line with Kyle Taub. Jacob Wilson rounds up top 5. Zachary Tyler in 6th. Cole Steiner in 7th. Brock Morris in 8th. Giovanni Klein in 9th. And Nathan Johnson rounds out our top 10. Finishing 11th tonight was Hunter Sr., Josh Arnold finishing 12th, Mark Chisholm 13th, Jared Skater 14th, and Zachary Meredith rounds out our 15-car field tonight. But out front tonight on the old tires, Dylan Chappell able to hold on. How does it feel to get the race win tonight?
Oh man, that was crazy. It feels good. I didn't think I was gonna make it on those old tires. Me and my teammate Cole, we were as soon as we'd kind of fell back just from happenstance or whatever, and he was like, "We should just pit and take 2 as soon as the window opened." So that's what we did, and I didn't think we would have made it that long.
So and that was also another worry. I thought how much fuel did you really have left there? Did you have enough under all those caution laps? And just maybe would you have made it if you went to a third green light checkered there?
Yeah, I think I would have. It would have been really close on the last one. I think I restarted that last green light checker with less than 6 laps. So another one we might would have ran out.
Yeah, but you still had enough, and the strategy worked out for you, and you able to pick up to win tonight going into our 3-week break. But before we send you off on your way, any sponsors you'd like to thank for tonight's race win?
I want to thank Pizza and Wings, Gaming, and Podcast. I want to thank my teammate Cole, you guys for broadcasting, and Donnie for putting on the league.
Once again, congrats on your race win. We'll see you in a couple weeks at Iowa.
Yep, you guys take care. Thank you.
So that was Dylan Chappell, our race winner. We'll bring in our 2nd place finisher of Kenneth Cheney, as he was so close to going 3 in a row, but just came up just a little bit short. What do you think you could have done differently there to maybe steal that race win away?
Oh, hey guys. First off, probably just had a drafting partner, maybe, I think, because I had a little bit of right front damage from a wreck earlier with whenever Mark had his issues, and then he hit me on the side, so I was just dealing with right front damage from there on out. So probably if I had a little bit more help behind, because I was definitely having a lot of drag on my car. I think I could have probably gave it a challenge there for the win for sure. So
yeah, and you're still able to hold on to second in a very good, strong momentum, as you just came off 2 wins at Michigan and Sonoma, and you still got a solid 2nd place finish for you tonight. How are you going to build this momentum going in? We have a few weeks off, and we won't go to our next race at Iowa on June 8th. So you got a little bit of a momentum going into this break. So how are you going to be able to transfer that through the summer break in a way and be able to come back at Iowa strong?
Just definitely keep racing out there. Whether that be through official lobbies or just, practicing around Iowa, just going to try and keep racing and keep up the, momentum, I guess is the word, or just try not to get rusty, I guess. So for sure. Yeah.
Once again, congrats on your 2nd place finish. Before we send you off on your way, any sponsors, I think, for tonight's 2nd place finish?
I want to thank the High Side podcast for sponsoring us over here. Definitely go check them out for sure. And thanks to SRL, Donnie Kite, running this league for sure. So it's been a blast so far.
Once again, congrats on your 2nd place finish. We'll see you in a few weeks at Iowa.
All right, see you guys.
So that was our second place finisher of Kenneth Cheney, and we'll bring in our third place finisher of Kyle Taub. As there's Kyle Taub. As Kyle Taub finishes where he started tonight, but the story tonight was a lot different. As he was running up front, almost at the stage when came up a little bit short there, but you had to work your way through the field multiple times. Just kind of talk us through your night, and what do you think you could maybe have done differently to maybe steal that race win away?
It was a lot of ups and downs. I think if that first yellow doesn't end that run, doesn't split that final stage in half, then possibly could have played some pit strategy and gotten out in front and stayed there. But after that, it seemed like everyone forgot how to drive and constantly kept getting walled by people.
Yeah, but you're still able to recover for a solid third place finish tonight. You definitely had to work your way up through the field multiple times, but how are you able to do that, and how are you able to get those moves done? Especially, it's kind of a little bit tough to pass tonight with dirty air and kind of freight train. Just how are you able to make it look so easy out there?
Well, I mean, through the 2 long runs we had, it seemed like I was doing better at saving tire than some other guys. And then it looked like I was doing a lot better on exit of 2 and 3. And that's where I was making up a lot of the ground that I'd lose through 1. But, I mean, it's track. You gotta maximize your exit speeds for these long straights.
Yeah, and you're still able to pick up a very solid third place finish tonight. But before we send you off on your way, any sponsors that you thank for tonight's third place run?
Yeah, shout out to my team owner Josh. I ended up taking him out through some hard racing from some other guy who kind of repaying the favor a little bit, but ended up taking him out. He definitely could have finished. He could have won this race, in all honesty. But other than that, shout out to Tubbs Graphics. My design stuff. You can hit me up at Beast FTXE on X if you need anything done in terms of iRacing paints.
Once again, congrats on your third place finish, and we'll see you in a couple weeks for at Iowa.
Yep, sure.
So that was our third place finisher of Kyle Taub, as he was able to pick up a solid third place run. And coming into the summer break in a way, as we do have a few weeks off. You got a couple weeks off for Memorial Day, and also with the NASCAR conflict. And the Stampede does not like to run during NASCAR races, so, and also the Indy 500 and a lot of other races. So got a couple weeks off, and we won't come back till Iowa in June 8th. So kind of a little bit of a break for these drivers, kind of regather their minds and kind of start preparing for Iowa maybe soon, or just kind of take their time with it.
Yeah, I mean, with these tracks, we've been to Michigan, Sonoma, Pocono, Laredo. Then we go to Iowa and then Charlotte, way different racetracks than here, and then Dover. So pretty much this quarter 2 schedule is very, very unique. We only go to a 1.5 mile track, and I mean, Suzuka's schedule, very, very unique schedule overall. So I mean, it continues after the 3-week break, and I think some of these drivers probably want that as well. Just a 3-week break after those last few races, and some beef, I guess you could say, as well.
Yep, and so we're coming into the summer break for the Stampede Racing League. Before we get there, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network, tomorrow night, a Monday night, we'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solution Series. Then we're going to Bristol, the last great Coliseum at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And on Wednesday night, we'll have the Superstar Cup, their All-Star Race at Knoxville, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. On Thursday night, we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series. They'll be going to Indianapolis at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. On Friday night, we'll have the Inter Cup Series at Las Vegas at 9 o'clock. And reminder, Stampede Racing League will be back on June 8th after our summer break at Iowa. So a little bit of a break, but so long here from Pocono. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer tonight of Talon Drake. So long here from Pocono. We'll see you in a few weeks here for the Stampede Racing League. I hope to see you next time here on the Legends